Cardinal fans didn't like what they saw on Friday night. The Redbirds' defense was uncharacteristically shoddy. The Pirates grabbed a lead, and then Reggie Sanders put the icing on the cake for a Pirates win. Yesterday, the Cardinals were more true to form. Albert Pujols showed why he's the league's top hitter, and Scott Rowland hit a 3-run homer, and the Cardinals won. Today, the series rolls on, and Lloyd McClendon is thinking of a way for the Pirates to beat the Cardinals again. This afternoon from Busch Stadium in St. Louis, it's our Pittsburgh Pirates against the St. Louis Cardinals. Hi, friends, and a very pleasant good afternoon. Thanks very much for being with us. Steve Blass is alongside. The Cardinals didn't play well defensively on Friday, and the Pirates won, and then the Bucco outfield didn't do the job yesterday, and as it turned out, the outfield cost the Pirates 9 runs, and the Cardinals won the game 13-8.
Yeah, and both managers are going to need much better defense this afternoon, Lanny, because they've got a couple bullpenners starting. Solomon Torres for the Pirates, Jeff Fassero for the Cardinals. And I think the theme of this game is which manager can get the most out of the starting pitcher. It's a very hot day here in St. Louis. These guys, if they can give their managers 4, 5, 6 innings, that's going to really help, because both of these teams have beat-up bullpens, and it's going to be a real struggle to get 27 outs this afternoon.
Yes, indeed, and we want to go to our miles away from ordinary feature early in the telecast, brought to you by Corona Extra. This is Hall of Fame Day in Cooperstown, New York.
Yeah, it's one of the great days in the baseball season where you get to recognize greatness. Eddie Murray and Gary Carter going in. No surprise that they got elected into the Hall of Fame. Both great careers. Eddie Murray, a great switch hitter, a lot of longevity. Gary Carter the same way. He put that catching gear on year after year after year.
Eddie Murray, by the way, had a significant at-bat in the '79 World Series, Game 7. He flied out to right fielder Dave Parker with the bases loaded. For Gary Carter, the longtime Major League catcher, Gary Carter played a significant role in the 1979 All-Star game.
Yes, did a great job. There's a great tag after a great throw from Dave Parker in right field. And Gary Carter had a lot of these situations. He was known as a great hitter, but also a great catcher for a lot of years. Interesting personality mix. Gary Carter never met a microphone he didn't like. Eddie Murray never met one that he did like.
Speaking of a guy that loves the microphone, Bob Uecker is being inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame today. So is Hal McCoy, sports writer from Dayton, Ohio, who's covered the Cincinnati Reds for over 30 years. The Pirates and the Cardinals. We'll take a look at the Pirate batting order when we return. Stadium, third game of a 4-game series. The St. Louis Cardinals trailing the Astros by 3.5 games. The Pirates are 8.5 out of first place. Here's the Pirates batting order, brought to you by Jeep. Leading off, Jason Kendall. Jeff Reveille at second base batting second, followed by Brian Giles, left fielder. Reggie Sanders in right field, followed by first baseman Craig Wilson. Jose Hernandez, 5 for 10 in the first 2 games of this series. Third baseman of the Bucks, coming over from the Chicago Cubs, Adam Heisdu in center field. Abraham Nunez in the 8th spot on the batting order with Solomon Torres, the Pirate pitcher.
And Lanny, you can almost say today is cliche day, because it's a hot afternoon. That old cliche, you know, you got to grind it out. The mentally tough are going to have a chance to come out on top. But those are the conditions that exist, and you really have to just extend yourself. You have to acknowledge that there's a lot of heat, and then go about your business and get the job done.
All right, let's roll to a commercial break with this cliche. We'll be back with more right after this. In a moment, the St. Louis Cardinals will take the field. I'm happy to report to you that Steve Blass is featured in the St. Louis newspaper today.
Yeah, Rick Hummel did a nice piece. It was nice to go through the memories one more time, yet another time.
It must be heartwarming for you to go around all these major league cities and talk to people about your great career.
It is. It's a good feeling. It's very complimentary, very flattering, and it also helps to fill up some space on a Sunday afternoon when you need a lot of copy in the sports section. He was very nice about it.
Well, the Redbirds take the field. Jim Edmonds not in the starting lineup for a second straight day. As a matter of fact, Edmonds, the Gold Glove center fielder of the St. Louis Cardinals, has made only 4 starts since the All-Star break because of a sore shoulder. Jeff Fassero, 40 years of age from Springfield, Illinois.
Not a kid, and this is his second start as the Cardinals are looking to put together a rotation for a stretch run to try to catch the Houston Astros. as we said in the open, innings #1 priority. Whatever he can give Tony La Russa, 5 innings or 5+ will be a bonus. Jeff is not a real power type of a thrower, and he will throw strikes when you force him to. He'll nibble around the edges. He'll try to get you to swing at his pitch in and around the strike zone. And I think a couple of right-handers that could be key matchups for Jeff Sanders and Jose Hernandez. 40 years old, but no stranger to the starting business. This will be his 219th major league start. In fact, he started 8 games against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And this guy was a big winner for the Montreal Expos in the middle 90s. 95, he won 13. 96, he won 15. 97, he won 16, including a near no-hitter against the Pirates up in Montreal when Carlos Garcia got a base hit. But he's 1-5 overall this year. As you said, the second start, and he has given up 55 hits in 42 innings. So the Pirates should have opportunities.
Tony La Russa has had J.D. Drew in center field now has Drew out there again today for a second straight day with Edmonton not in the lineup. But we've seen some spectacular plays the first 2 days of the series made by Scott Rowland, who's a third base, Gold Glove third baseman. Renteria, Hart, Martinez on the infield. Drew flanked by Robinson and Pujols. The Cardinal catcher is Widger, and the St. Louis defense brought to you by Pepsi. Steve, let me go back to your scouting report. Why was it that you highlighted the matchups of Facero against Sanders and Facero against Hernandez?
Well, first of all, he's a lefty, and they're right-handed guys with a lot of power. This ball club or this ballpark can give them up if you stay away from center field. So if they can force him to come in the strike zone and don't chase borderline pitches, then they've got a chance to get the ball out of the ballpark. Jeff Facero's given up 7 home runs primarily out of the bullpen. So if he makes mistakes in the hitting zone, he could be in trouble.
Jason Kendall batting .306, leading off, takes a strike.
Oh, this is the first left-hander to start for the St. Louis Cardinals this year.
Swing and a miss, 0-2, and there's not been a left-handed starter for the Pirates this year, has there?
No, I don't think so. I don't believe so. Dave Williams rehabbing. He's not part of that program.
0-2 pitch. Ball fouled back out of play. Kendall has good career numbers against Jeff Facero. Kendall 6 for 9 against Jeff. Bill Miller, the home plate umpire. Jeff Kellogg at first. Joe West, the crew chief, at second. Paul Emo at third. And ready with a 2-strike pitch.
You mentioned that Chris Widger behind the plate. Jeff Facero and Chris Widger involved in a trade for each other, a trade involving Montreal and Seattle way back when. Here they are reunited. They're on opposite ends of that trade back in the 90s.
Facero shook off the changeup, goes to the fastball, and misses in 1-2.
And that's what he'll try to do, that to right-hand batters, come all the way across the strike zone and tie him up, and that could create opportunities for Reggie Sanders and Jose Hernandez if he doesn't get in far enough.
Facero shook off the fastball and then shook off the changeup, and then looked like Widger was set to put the fastball down again.
A couple more options left. Try to get in on the hands of Jason Kendall once again. If you can be somewhat efficient as a pitcher in these kind of conditions, you are really appreciated by your teammates. Throw a lot of strikes, get them on the field and off the field in efficient fashion. That's a plus.
Change up away. And the bouncing ball to Rowland. In the first 2 days of the series, Nunez hit second and Rebele 8th, but because of the left-hander on the mound for the Cardinals, Wade McClendon elevating Rebele to the number 2 spot, Nunez hitting 8th.
Nunez better numbers as times that he will face left-hander Facero. Abraham's done a pretty good job of hitting in this ballpark.
And a strike called. Sammy Sosa has homered in the top of the first at Houston, giving the Cubs an early 1-0 lead. The Cubs in the National League Central Division 5.5 behind the Astros. The Cardinals 3.5 back. First baseman Martinez has the easy play on the right side. Brian Giles hitting .305. Brian hit his 11th home run of the year Friday night off the left-handed pitcher Lance Painter. Career home run number 199 for Brian. Low 2-0. Brian Giles has 37 strikeouts this year. 16 of the 37 have come in the month of July, and 13 of the 16 have been uncalled third strikes. Line drive caught by Renteria. A couple of groundouts in the lineup. The Pirates retired in order in the top of the first. Set for the bottom of the first inning. Here's the Cardinals batting order brought to you by Dodge. Fernando Viñas on the DL, so Bo Hart's been playing second base. J.D. Drew in center field. Albert Pujols, 5 hits in his last 6 at bats, and the league leading batting average of .376, followed by first baseman Tito Martinez, third baseman Scott Rowland, shortstop Edgar Renteria, the right fielder is Kerry Robinson, catcher Chris Widger, pitcher Jeff Pissarro.
And the PNC scouting report for Solomon Torres, who will be making his 9th start of the season after he gets his shoes tied, getting squared away. Just like Jeff Pissarro, innings a #1 priority for he and his manager and his ball club. Needs to be better second run through the lineup. He's done good work early, and then he seems to run into a snag the second look they get at him. Home run concerns, 14 home runs given up for Solomon Torres.
Bo Hart fouls a pitch back. Very often baseball people feel that when a pitcher has trouble a second or third time through a batting order, it's because either A, he doesn't have a good enough extensive repertoire, or B, he's not making adjustments after the hitters have made an adjustment. Ball popped out of play.
And then another possibility too, another factor is they're just flat out relief pitchers. Solomon Torres has done good work against the Cardinals this year and throughout his career. So that could be the reason that he is getting the start, although it's pretty much predetermined by the Benson situation.
And Hart strikes out.
Oh, good start for Pissarro. Good start for Solomon Torres as he slings one up there and gets the strikeout.
Solomon lost to the Astros 2-0 on Tuesday in Pittsburgh. Pitched well. Gave up only 2 runs in 6 innings. J.D. Drew 4 for 9 in the series.
I look at this as a key matchup too. Edmonds not in the lineup. J.D. Drew has hurt the Pirates a good bit in his career to this point, and important for Torres to do some good work against him.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Not a complete stranger to the Cardinals. This will be his 5th career start.
Drive down the right field line, and a foul ball. That was hit so hard, almost didn't have enough time to hook foul.
Exactly. If that ball hangs up in the air a little longer, he might have a chance at it. That classic left-hand power swing. Goes down, gets the ball. Left-handers love to go down and get underneath those low pitches and uppercut them. Sometimes they do it for a long distance.
Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. I mentioned that Sosa homered in the top of the first at Houston. Sammy's 521st of his career, and he's now tied with Willie McCovey and Ted Williams for 12th place on the all-time home run list. No score, bottom of the first inning.
Breeze by those people, maybe even today.
Oh, great pitch, up and in. Steve talked a moment ago about that classic left-hander swing dealing with pitches down. So this one up and in, got him.
It's tough to go up this high and keep at that level. So you see that uppercut swing, it doesn't work nearly as well upstairs as it does downstairs.
Albert Pujols leading the National League with a .376 batting average. And Pujols is tied for second place in the National League in home runs. The league leader is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Barry Bonds, 33 home runs, 646 in his career. 16 away from reaching the #3 spot on the all-time list and tying his godfather. Carlos Delgado leads the American League in home runs. Delgado hit his 30th of the year this afternoon. And the Toronto Blue Jays lead Baltimore 7-0 in the 4th inning.
Got to keep the ball away from this guy, but in order to be effective away, you've got to also show him something inside on occasion.
Yes, he did. He swung at the pitch, and Solomon Torres strikes out the side. No score after 1 inning. The second, there are all sorts of ways to deal with the heat and humidity in St. Louis.
Yeah, that's as good as you can get without having an IV. You soak your T-shirt in beer and then tie it around your head.
And then we've got the gentleman with the cowboy hat and the other gentleman with the sombrero.
Yeah, the 2.5 amigos.
Reggie Sanders takes ball 1. James Vaughn of Hadley, Pennsylvania, the Giant Eagle contestant. I don't know where Hadley
Vaughn,
is.
Mr. Vaughn. Where the what?
Where Hadley, Pennsylvania.
I'm not sure either. Not sure. Get another smart remark out of the truck starting off the game.
Dennis Galloway with a smart.
Not intelligent, just smart.
Yeah. Sarcastic.
Yeah. There we go. West of Philadelphia, south of Erie. Thanks, Dennis.
Probably that truck down, that TV truck's probably air conditioned.
Oh, I'm sure they're extremely comfortable.
2-1 on Sanders. Craig Wilson to follow. Jeff Passaro's in his 20th year of pro ball. And I'm sure there are a number of people that have forgotten that Jeff Passaro labored in the minor leagues for over 7 years before he finally got a chance to come up with the Montreal Expos in 1991.
A lot of those years in the Cardinal chain. Proving that you can go home or come home. There he is as a Cardinal in the big leagues.
3-1 pitch driven by Sanders to right field. And Robinson's got room, 1 out.
Almost. Yeah, it was the St. Louis Cardinals minor league system, then in the big leagues, Montreal, Seattle, Texas, Boston, some time with the Chicago Cubs, and a lot of good work out of the Cardinal bullpen. They're trying everything to find a starting rotation, and who knows if they're done yet. Another week before the trading deadline. I assume that they're doing some pretty serious shopping.
Bouncing ball and a foul ball, strike 1. Brian Seif, our producer, has just told me that Hadley, Pennsylvania is up north of Interstate 80 up near Greenville, Pennsylvania.
I hope Dennis was able to get that information also in the truck, so he'll be squared away. Hadley, not Headley. Hadley. Not Hetty.
Strike 3. Pitch on the inside corner. 2 outs.
Very efficient work by both starters to this point. Down and in, and apparently just right for Bill Miller. Home plate umpire makes the call. First strikeout for Jeff Passaro.
Jose Hernandez playing his 5th game as a Pirate. Hitting .235 overall. And batting .389 as a Bucco. I would think the hitters will want to swing the bats this afternoon. This umpiring crew will attempt to move the game along as quickly as possible.
It is warm here. I don't think it's as warm as it used to be when they had the artificial surface. You could just see the heat radiating off that surface, and they replaced it with the grass, so that helps some. And there is some air moving around. There is a breeze. That helps. So, all in all, yeah, it's warm, but go get him.
One and two on Jose Hernandez. Ground ball to Renteria. Pirates are retired 1-2-3 for a second straight inning. Out of the second inning, and the Pirates come home after tomorrow's ball game and host the San Diego Padres. Golf Umbrella Night is Wednesday night. Game time against the Padres 7:05. All fans receive a Pirates Golf Umbrella compliments of MasterCard. Call 1-877-893-BUCKS or log on to PittsburghPirate.com or visit the main ticket windows at PNC Park. Tino Martinez takes ball one. Martinez in the fourth spot of the order. Albert Pujols had 4 hits yesterday, and so did Tino Martinez. 2 balls and no strikes. Tino Martinez was asked to replace Don Mattingly with the New York Yankees, and then asked to come in and replace Mark McGwire here in St. Louis. Line shot to right field. It's the first hit of the game after Torres struck out the 3 Cardinals on 11 pitches in the first inning.
And you get behind to a good major league hitter like Tino Martinez, 2-0, and these kind of things can happen. Again, that left-handed downstairs swing to lift the ball up into right center field.
Third baseman Scott Rowland, 21st home run of the year, came yesterday. Pick off Josh Fogg.
Could get a little scary if they move Albert Pujols into first base. Pretty good corner combination if they have Rowland at third and Pujols at first, if that's where he winds up. And they're talking about that.
Some concern about Pujols' shoulder this year. Edmonds is out because of a sore shoulder. One ball and 2 strikes on Rowland. Well, Jocketty is the general manager of the Cardinals, and yes, he's got to be thinking of ways to enhance the starting rotation of this Cardinal ball club.
Matt Morris out. That is a huge, huge blow to them. And there's no guarantee he's going to be back in time to be effective. You get back from an injury, and then you got to get back into playing shape and pitching shape. There's Matt, and they're saying 3 to 6 weeks. Well, it takes 6 weeks at this point in the season. You're running down the road pretty good, close to the end of the regular season.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Scott Rowland. A man on, nobody out. No score, bottom of the second inning. Matt Morris is out with a broken right hand, injury suffered earlier this week.
Solomon Torres out in front of everybody in the first inning. Got the job done. Now he's pitching behind to Martinez. Full count. Fastball count to Rowland.
Martinez running. It's ball 4 and a couple of men are on. The Redbirds' number 6 hitter is shortstop Edgar Renteria. Renteria 5 for 9 in the series. Batting average .333. And that's good for 4th place in the National League. Teammate Albert Pujols leads the league. Todd Helton of the Rockies 2nd. Jose Guillen of the Reds 3rd. Barry Bonds number 5.
And he can bounce you into some double plays. He's hit into 14.
Good play by Jose Hernandez. Out at second. Out at first.
Boy, that was a very good double play. It had some ragged edges and a possibility for some disaster, but it all turned out well. A nice snag by Hernandez. That starts it. He goes up in the air and brings it down. And then Rebele with an off-balance throw and a good tag by Craig Wilson. So really good work all the way around. Good work there. Rebele throwing across the body. Decent work there and a nice finish with the tag.
You talked earlier about this would be a day of cliches because of the heat here. I guess that was not a tailor-made double play, was it?
No, there was no Taylor involved in that one. You better get some alterations. Wow.
All three of the Pirate infielders on that play had to show some creativity. Gary Robinson playing right field. Runner at third, 2 outs.
One of the reasons Jeff Rebele had to throw off balance, he had a long trip over from where he was starting, and he had to take that throw on the move and get out of the way of the runner bearing down on him.
One ball and 2 strikes on Robinson.
One of the things that you used to do as a pitcher on these kind of days is you pitch your inning and then you go into the clubhouse where they have all the air conditioning. That's the good news. The bad news is you got to come back out to this, and sometimes it feels even warmer when you leave that AC.
Ground ball to Rebele. Good job as Torres is able to get to Renteria into a double play, and then the Robinson ground that ends the inning. Baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by your Pittsburgh Jeep dealers. Only in a Jeep 4x4 Jeep. And by Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi.
You know, Lanny, there's another thing about these kind of games. I had a pattern on these kind of afternoon games when it's hot. Between innings, when I went back out on the mound, throw 4 pitches, 2 fastballs, a curve, and a slider, throw it down to second base, and let's go. I mean, you're warm. You really don't need much, and every pitch you throw that you don't need in warm-ups is a pitch you might not have later on.
Adam Heisdude leads off. Adam playing center field. 1 home run, a grand slam in San Diego.
I don't know if you can do that anymore with commercial times. The whole plate umpire will stand there and say, no, you can't start yet. We've still got some spots to run.
Well, I guess what you could do is just stay in the dugout longer, right?
Yeah.
There is a maximum number of warm-up pitches that you get before you start an inning, but there's no minimum. Foul ball on the count, 1-2. It's not as easy to get to the clubhouses here at Busch Stadium currently. It was a lot easier before. There was a little bit more of a tunnel way to navigate.
It used to be a straight shot up a ramp, and you could get in there quickly. Another thing on the front end of a ball game, if you're used to taking maybe between 15 and 20 minutes to warm up to start a ball game, these kind of days, you take 8 or 9 or 10. That's all you really need.
Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. This series will continue tomorrow, and then the Bucs home to host San Diego and Colorado. Heisdude down on strikes. Second strikeout for Jeff Fassero.
And that's a favorite pitch. He'll throw you a lot of off-speed stuff, a slider and a curveball, and then on occasion to right-hand batters, he'll turn that ball over and give you a sinking kind of a fastball. A lot of move it down and away from you, and that's what he appeared to get Adam Heisdude with. Not a true screwball, but in that family, a youngster in that family.
Ball, 1 strike. Eric Karras has hit a home run for the Cubs, and the Cubbies lead the Astros 3-0 in the second inning at Minute Maid Park.
Hearing a little more from Eric Karras lately. Not too much first half of the season. Phillies.
Swing and a miss 1-2 yesterday. The Astros beat the Cubs. The Cubs held to 2 hits, and Aramis Ramirez had both of them, as Tim Redding did a great job as the Astros started. Two balls and 2 strikes. Nunez 3 hits yesterday. Jeff Fassero has retired the first 7 Pirate batters. The Pirates did not come up with a base hit Friday night until the 5th inning.
It was a bizarre ball game. It was a 1-0 ball game after 5 innings, and then it blew apart.
Swing and a miss. Nunez, the second out of the 3rd inning.
Pulled the string on Abraham, had him out in front. I want to talk about the way you can really get an indication that a true off-speed pitch is thrown by a pitcher. That last one to Nunez was that, and if we get a chance, we'll go back and look at that delivery, because it's kind of a telltale if we can play it again.
Strike called on Torres. 0 for 18 with 10 strikeouts. One ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, let's take a look at that if we can, because you want to look at the pitching hand of Jeff Fassero when he follows through. This is that swing and a miss on that off speed. It'll come all the way around his body and kind of slap at the rib cage on the other side. That's the real good arm motion.
Jeff Fassero strikes out the side in the top of the 3rd. No score after 2.5. Friends, this is an unofficial Aflac trivia question for you. Can you name this player? Can you name this player? I know we've had a lot of changes of late.
We had the giveaway there.
There you go. Lloyd and Ingrid McClendon have 2 children. This is their son, Bo. Look how he takes that. He follows through, and the right hand comes off the bat.
Just ask Lloyd McClendon how fast Bo is growing up. We used to see him when he was tiny, and this is a young man that's growing up quick, and Mac likes his baseball ability. He considers him to be a gifted player at this age.
Bo's getting ready for his football season. Should start practice, I guess, in 3 or 4 weeks. Strike 1 on Chris Widger.
2 a days will be fun in this kind of weather. You get warm in Gary, Indiana, too, where the McClendons make their home.
Did you play high school football?
I played for about 3 games my freshman year, and then they caught me going to a Yale football game when the team bus was going to a high school game, and that was it for me.
They threw you off the team?
Threw me off.
Kind of a harsh penalty.
Rather harsh, but much deserved. Our car made the mistake of passing the team bus going up a hill. Talk about getting busted.
One away in the 3rd. So you saw Seabiscuit yesterday.
I saw Seabiscuit, and I was very impressed. I liked it. It was a nice story. It had a good element of truth in it, because Seabiscuit was a championship. Of course, it's based on a book that came out, became a bestseller last year. And Tobey Maguire, who was one of the leads, he was the jockey, has had quite a year with Spider-Man in this movie. But it was a neat story, well received. It was a round of applause by the movie audience. You don't see that very often after the film. So nice feel-good movie, Seabiscuit.
1 strike pitch to Fassero.
My only disappointment was you couldn't bet on him in the lobby of the theater.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the movie, because you were here for part of the good bit of the game yesterday. It was a terrible ball game.
Yes, I didn't work. I came down to watch what I thought was going to be a lot of fun, and it really wasn't.
Now 1-2 on Fassero. Good thing we didn't televise yesterday.
Just as well. Pirates have had a good trip, what, 3-1 to this point.
The Pirates are 5-2 since the Mike Williams trade. Also, Jack's going to try to help any way he can. Help Rusty Kuntz with the defensive charts. Third straight start that Jack has missed because of the groin injury. Solomon Torres, first time through the Cardinal batting order, struck out 4. No score, bottom of the third. This fall, the NFL returns to Fox. Big stories. Bill Parcells comes to Dallas, and Michael Vick and Donovan McNabb battled to become the best quarterbacks in the league. The National Football League returns to Fox starting September the 7th.
A bobblehead hat. That's a great hat unless you're sitting right behind that guy and you can't see the ball.
Ball 1 on Bo Hart.
The warmest ballparks in the major leagues. Well, this one can be a warm one. Cincinnati can be as warm as any place right on the Ohio River, but I don't think anything as warm as old Colt Stadium down in Houston when they used to crank it up down there.
Soft liner to the mound, handled by Solomon Torres. We've played 3. Nothing. 3 innings, only 1 hit in the game so far. It's the 4th inning, and that means only one thing. Yes, and here's the question. In 1974, Lou Brock became the new career leader in the National League for stolen bases. Whose record did he break? The National League record. This is the official Aflac trivia question. We'll check the answer for you in the bottom of the inning.
Retired number of Mr. Brock. He's a good one. He'll probably be up in Cooperstown today. A lot of the members of Baseball Hall of Fame, living members, attend that ceremony.
I hope I have a chance to hear the Bob Uecker acceptance speech. Bob told me on a radio interview the other day that normally they give everybody 5 minutes. They've told Bob he can do 15. And I asked Bob, well, have you thought about what you're going to say? And he said, well, I'll probably start by saying I should have gone into the Hall of Fame as a player.
That'll get the first laugh and not the last one.
3-0 on Kendall. Pirates still looking for a base runner.
I wonder if they keep track of time and you can like carry over, because he can take some of Maz's time if he needs some extra time. Although Dave Winfield took most of Maz's extra time when Maz went in.
Strike 3 and 1. Boy, that must be quite an experience to be there for the Hall of Fame ceremony.
It was. It's out in a meadow. It's not downtown Cooperstown at all. It's out of town, maybe a couple miles. But, it's just a wonderful setting. They got a big canopy staged area. It's tremendous. It really is tremendous.
Kendall walks. Hal McCoy is the sports writer that's going into the Hall of Fame this year. It's quite a story. Hal has been dealing with blindness for a couple of years now, and his newspaper has done a great job of arranging for a chauffeur to get him to the ball games, and he's got his own little TV monitored, and so because he can't see real distinct things on the field anymore. Great guy.
Yeah, and that is great to support his continued involvement with that team.
I saw an interview the other day, and Aaron Boone of the Cincinnati Reds stepped forward, and when Hal was thinking about quitting as a sports writer, Aaron took him aside and said, "You can't do that. That's not permissible. We can't allow you to quit." Strike called on Rebele.
That had to mean a lot to Hal McCoy to have a player who really doesn't really need to be involved unless he chooses to be, and chose to be very much involved. Hal has been quoted as saying how much that meant to him. Good guy. He can't get out too, because every once in a while he'll give me one of his extra cigars.
Runner going, and an easy double play. Kendall's tagged out. 6 unassisted double play.
Pirates try to get something going. Rebele does a good job. Looks like he insided out that ball. Yeah, went downstairs and put it in play, but right at Renteria, and he'll tag Kendall, and that's the end of that. Jeff Rebele can get the bat on the ball in the most difficult of circumstances, so whether it's a bunt attempt or that difficult pitch there.
Might be the translation of his name. Finding unique ways to get the bat on the ball. Rebele. Mr. Bojangles, the guitar man.
Yep. Carries it with him. In this day and age, through airport security, they want to see what's inside that case too.
You know, I was about to ask you what unique thing you carry in your suitcase, but I don't think I want to go down that road.
There's not very much unique. In fact, I don't use very much that I bring. I pack all kind of clothes and use about a quarter of all of it.
This ball is popped up and it's playable by Scott Rowland in foul territory. No runs, no hits, a walk, a double play, and nobody left on base. No score after 3.5. Let's see how you did with the Aflac trivia question today. In 1974, Lou Brock became the new career leader in the National League for stolen bases. Whose record did he break? Max Carey had 738 career steals, and the record stood for 46 years. Max Carey, 16 seasons with the Pirates, led the National League in steals 10 times. Max Carey hit .458 in the 1925 World Series. The Pirates beating the Washington Senators 4-3. Bouncer to first baseman Craig Wilson. Easy play, one away in the fourth. Let's go back to Brian and Dennis if we can. Let's go back to the retired numbers section. This is a real tremendous way to highlight St. Louis Cardinal history. Ozzie Smith, Red Shanedean, Stan the Man Musial, Enos Slaughter, Kenny Boyer, Dizzy Dean, Jack Buck, Lou Brock, Bob Gibson, August Busch, and Rogers Hornsby. Some of the great names, not only in Cardinal history, but in baseball history.
And then you got the Jackie Robinson. It's a pretty good roster. Wall and deep right center field.
Just looking now to see if you could put together a team with that crew. You've got a shortstop and a second baseman and a first baseman.
Kenny Boyer at third.
A couple of outfielders. I guess there's no catcher there.
Maybe get Yogi Berra. He grew up in this town.
Yeah, that works. Or Garagiola, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Torres trying to work Pujols outside most of the time. Got him on a check swing earlier. Let's see what Jason Kendall does in terms of movement. Want to keep him honest in? Nope. Want to go away. Go too far away. I'd love to stay away from this power outside, but on occasion you got to keep him honest. They're going to try to do it here. And Torres is a good candidate to do that because he likes to keep the ball downstairs. When he's most effective, he throws a low fastball with some movement downward, a little sinking effect, and even if you hit it hard, a good percentage of the time it'll be on the ground. That's where you want to keep Albert Pujols, on the ground.
Second walk given up by Torres. Only 1 hit in the game, the single of Tino Martinez in the second inning. Cincinnati leads the New York Mets 7-3 in the 6th inning at Shea Stadium, and Jose Guillen has hit his 22nd home run of the year.
On top of that, you said he's also 3rd in the National League batting race. He's strong here.
Pitch outside, ball 1. Adam Dunn's hit his 26th of the campaign. Mike Lowell's hit number 29 for the Florida Marlins, and the Marlins lead the Phillies 4-3 in the 4th inning. Philadelphia's wild card lead is 2 games over the Diamondbacks, and the Marlins are 3 games back. And the Pirates have not yet played the Florida Marlins this season.
Torres had Martinez 2-0 in the second inning, and the base hit got him 2-0 here. It does better at this point. Now it's 2-1.
Base hit just inside third. Pujols goes to third, and Martinez will be held to a single.
Little slicer just inside third base. Albert Pujols, who, among other things, runs well for a big man, scampers over to third base. And the Cardinals in business with one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning, and a real challenge for Solomon Torres now with Scott Rolen. There's a little cue shot that stays fair, and the race is on.
I was wondering whether Tino had stumbled coming out of the batter's box, because he really wasn't all that far past first base when Giles got the ball after the ball had caromed off the facade.
Might have had trouble getting out of the box. Also had to really extend himself, so he's reaching away from his base path that he was going to head down.
2 hits in the game. Martinez has them both. And now Solomon Torres needs a double play.
Behind 1-0 to Scott Rolen. Dangerous stuff. Scott Rolen with a 3-run home run yesterday. Now deeper into the suit. Little tear that Tino Martinez is on. He hit 4 hits yesterday. 2 for 2 early going this afternoon.
Solomon Torres in the 6 innings he pitched against the Astros 5 days ago, he was able to serve up 3 ground ball double plays in the game, and 1 double play in this game off the bat of Renteria.
Rolen's a good candidate.
Ground ball to Jose Hernandez, to Rebele, to Craig Wilson, and the Cardinals are turned away for a second time this afternoon. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, a double play, and a man left on base. Fifth inning, a couple of double plays turned behind Solomon Torres. The second one, the one that just ended the 4th inning, pretty basic.
Yeah, anybody can make this one. 5, 4, 3. You want to see some creativity? High chop, awkward. 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 5, 4, 3. Same results. And both of them much appreciated by Mr. Solomon Torres.
Reggie Sanders comes through with the first Pirate hit of the game. Reggie flied out to deep right field in the second inning. The single starts the 5th. Did you happen to see the slacks that Reggie had on the other day?
No.
Oh, they were out there, but Reggie can pull it off.
Yep. He's GQ man. Well, Adam Heisdew had a suit on when we came from Pittsburgh to Cincinnati. I'm telling you the truth. You could wrap Christmas presents in it. It was wild. It had stripes and subtle stripes and definitive stripes. And, I don't know how to really judge it other than the fact it got your attention.
Was it your sense that Adam pulled it off all right? Or?
No. In fact, it was my sense he should have pulled all of it off.
0-2 on Craig Wilson. No score, 5th inning. Jeff Facero picks up his 5th strikeout.
Like that little turnover pitch down and away from a right-hand batter. Let's see what we can see. No, that's a curveball. In that location, down and away. That one coming into the right-hander a little bit. Fastball would be turned over and sliding away. That's really similar to a pitch that Tom Glavine has perfected. That little turnover pitch on the outside corner. Denny Nagel does a good job with it. Jeff Facero doing a good job with it. That was the hook.
Runner going, stumbling towards second base. No throw from Widger. Reggie Sanders picks up his 7th stolen base.
Really try running again. Much better results. Earlier they tried it with Kendall on first base, and the line drive was hit by Rebele for the double play. Spinning his wheels. No problem as the ball is juggled. With all that's going on, Widger is not handling that pitch.
Two balls and no strikes. Solomon Torres, the Pirate starter today. We've been told that Chris Benson will not make his start on Tuesday against San Diego. Had been the possible date for Chris's return to the rotation.
Not to be.
Three balls and no strikes. Adam Heisdu on deck.
Pissarro trying to keep the ball away from Jose Hernandez, and the Cardinal defense is set up accordingly with J.D. Drews sliding around toward right center several steps. He'll give Jose Hernandez all the left center he wants and all the left field corner he wants.
Hernandez walks. Second walk from Jeff Pissarro. The Pirates and the Cardinals finish up this series tomorrow here at Busch Stadium. Here's the Coors Light What's on Tap. Game time tomorrow, 1:40 Pittsburgh time. Jeff Suppan against Brett Tomko. We invite you to join us for the radio coverage, beginning with our pregame show at 1:15. The Pirates host the San Diego Padres Tuesday, Wednesday nights, Thursday afternoon. The Rockies are in town, and next Saturday's game against the Colorado Rockies will start at 6:35. Bounce to the mound. Pissarro's got it to throw to Hart at second. On to first baseman Martinez. No runs, one hit, a walk, a double play, and a man left. Josh Fogg, the Pirate starter yesterday. Josh gave up 7 runs in 4 innings, but he was not supported very well in the field. Strike one on Renteria.
So far, the report card on these starters coming out of the bullpen, primary relievers, is A+.
Renteria grounds out to shortstop Nunez. I was talking just before the final out of the 4th inning about the Pirates Saturday game. And please, friends, make note of the fact that the starting time of the August 2nd game has been moved up from 7:05 to 6:35 as the Pirates got together with the Regatta folks to coordinate the ball game and also be coordinating the fireworks. The Zambelli International Fireworks Show will be lighting up the skies. 2 launch sites on Saturday night from PNC Park and Point State Park. The other day I saw Donnie and Rhonda Robinson. They were in Pittsburgh spending time with good friends Jack and Carol Fela, and Donnie was telling me that his dad catches a lot of our telecast down in Canova, West Virginia, so our best wishes to Don's father. Also Rhonda's folks, Ron and Sarah Castle, down in West Virginia. Always fun to be around Donnie Robinson.
Yep.
Notice how I tied that in with the at-bat of Kerry Robinson.
It all fits. Except he wears 0. I don't even know if that's a number. Donnie was 43, I believe, for the Pirates. Big man with a big heart, Donnie Robinson.
Robinson is safe, as Nunez will able to come up with a batted ball.
Tries to take that short hop side saddle. Comes close, but once it gets on the ground, it's over. And now you've put Kerry Robinson, who has good speed on the base pass, but not much happening. You'll have to keep an eye on him over there. Here's a couple steals.
The official score rules base hit for Robinson, giving the Cardinals their 3rd hit of the game. No score, bottom of the 5th inning. Ball 1.
Jack Wilson still out of the lineup with that groin strain.
don't know if I haven't heard any time frame for when Jack is going to be back in the starting lineup.
I asked Mac a little bit about it today, because when Jack first suffered the injury on Thursday, Mac told me later that day he was fearful that maybe Jack would go on the disabled list. But now we're hearing Mac says that Jack Wilson is progressing well, and maybe, just maybe, Jack could be ready for the Padres series. Jason Kendall told me the other day he is expecting to hear from Major League Baseball officials tomorrow. Waiting to hear about Jason's appeal of the suspension. Jason given 3 games because of his involvement in the altercation with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays in mid-June. May be that if Major League Baseball rules quickly tomorrow, that Kendall might find himself sitting out the 3 games against the Padres. Pitch out, count 2-2. Find that rather interesting that if Jason were to sit out those 3 games against San Diego, all this talk, the rumors about Kendall and Giles to the Padres. Ted Simmons was in Pittsburgh. Simmons scout with the San Diego ball club. Fly ball to right fielder Reggie Sanders. And there are 2 outs. Gary Robinson at first base.
Well, the talk has been significant, and it'll continue to rev for the rest of the time as we run down the road toward the 31st of July.
Also keep in mind that we've seen Major League clubs find ways to get around the waiver policy to pull off a trade after July 31st.
Have we ever? You go through this flurry running up to the 31st of July, and then up to the end of August as teams get their rosters set that are going to be in postseason play. You see a lot of transactions, and you're not always sure how they come about, but they come about.
One strike on Jeff Passero, no score, 5th inning.
There's a guy that lives in Montana that knows all the rules about baseball. Nobody can ever reach him yet. They can't get him on the phone. The waiver rules and this rule and that rule. He knows them all, but can't really get to him.
It's not Jeff King, is it?
It could be Kinger. Yep, could be. And Jeff's not talking.
Solomon Torres making his 9th start of the year. Wrapped up in a pretty good ball game with Jeff Passero. The count 1-2 on the Cardinal pitcher. And the inning is over by way of the strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, and a man left on base. Nothing through 5 innings. Baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. Dodge. By the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play Powerball. Benefits older Pennsylvanians. You must be 18 or older to play. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Tremendous work by both starters. 5 scoreless innings. Their respective managers couldn't be happier. Passero's only given up 1 hit. Torres has given up 3. There have been no runs scored in this ball game to this point. Couldn't have come at a better time for both clubs to get this kind of starting work.
Shortstop Nunez is going to bat left-handed against the left-hander Jeff Passero.
Yeah, he likes those numbers. Apparently good enough from this side of the plate where he's going to stick with them.
It makes sense, Steve. If Passero's got that little tailing pitch,
you kind of take that away from him, because that now comes into you and you have kind of a better look, better angle to see it.
He did bat right-handed the first time up, didn't he? I mean, it would have jumped out at us.
Yeah, I got to say, I'm going to say yes, and that's our story, and we're sticking to it. Graham might see a few more breaking balls now, trying to get out away from him.
Abraham hit by a pitch, caught him in the left arm.
thank you very much. I hope he's all right, but a break for the Pirates. Now Torres can try to bunt him over, and Pirates can see if they can scratch out a run. Right in the forearm, below the elbow, between the elbow and the wrist.
Then it ricocheted off his chest.
So he should get second base. Hit it twice. Torres will try to get him over to second base.
Our great crew in the truck was kind enough to go back and double check the videotape. He did bat right-handed the first
the
time.
Hadley crew.
Away, Solomon Torres. Pissarro teamed with Bo Hart, sacrificed 1-4. Nunez at second base, no score, sixth inning.
Nicely done. No base hits for Solomon Torres this year, but 4 sacrifice bunts. The strong arm of Edmonds in center field, not in center field today. But even if he was, base hit to the outfield, John Russell's going to be aggressive in a scoreless ball game. That's just the way it works.
Pitch to Kendall, down low, ball 1.
In a scoreless ball game where you're not having many opportunities, you get one like this, you have a tendency to gamble more.
Second baseman Hart playing up the middle, trying to keep Nunez close. Pretty good opening on that right side of the infield. See first baseman Martinez playing a few extra steps off the line. Cut back some of that opening. Here's the 1-ball pitch to Kendall.
Jeff Pissarro will be in that 88, 89, 90 mile an hour range with his fastball. The key for him is how he uses it, when he uses it, and where he spots it.
No score, sixth inning. Nunez at second base, 1 out. Fly ball to right center field. J.D. Drew makes the catch, 2 outs. Drew got a good jump on that ball. And next up, Jeff Rebele. Friends, keep cool as the summer heats up by sporting your summer baseball apparel. Get authentic Major League Baseball caps, jerseys, shirts, and more at PittsburghPirates.com. Shop PittsburghPirates.com for all things baseball. Update on the Astros and Cubs. The Cubbies lead the Astros 3-2 in the 5th inning. And Jeff Bagwell's hit his 23rd home run of the year. He's been hitting more home runs of late after going through quite a dry spell earlier this year. The Astros 3.5 in front of the Cardinals. The Cubs 5.5 back, and the Pirates in 4th place, 8.5 games out of 1st place.
Jeff Bagwell telling me, he said, I got on the other side of my usual 6-week miserable swing time. He said, in fact, this year it was 8 weeks when he had that drought where he didn't hit hardly any home runs, but looks like he's back in action with his swing.
I'll tell you, if the Astros continue to get good pitching from Robertson and Redding, that's going to be a major story for that Houston club, because you expect Roy Oswalt to do his usual good work, and Wade Miller. Robertson pitching today, trailing 3-2. Robertson has won 9 in a row, a record of 10-3.
Well, when you can get somebody to come out of the woodwork that you weren't counting on, it is a real shot in the arm for the ball club. You want as many of your guys that you know about and can count on to have their good years, but when you get a surprise like that, it is huge plus.
Rebele doesn't like the call of home plate umpire Bill Miller. The count's 2-2.
Much cleaner game than we saw in the first two contests between these two teams that were split. Usually happens when you get this kind of pitching.
Nunez at second base, 2 outs and a 2-2 pitch. Nunez running. There's ball 3.
Well, you might not think that's much, but who knows? A lot of things can happen to give you a run when you're at third as opposed to being at second. By the way, the Cardinals have not been charged with a pass ball this year. A little compliment to Mike Matheny and Chris Widger.
Three and 2 on Rebele. Cicero came set, then stepped off. It's the first time that a Pirate base runner has been to third base. Ground ball, base hit by Rebele off the 3-2 pitch. Nunez scores, and the Pirates jump to a 1-0 lead in the 6th.
Nice job by Jeff Rebele. Nice job of the Pirates finding a way to manufacture a run here in the 6th inning. Who knows how many it's going to take. You never think one's going to be enough, but that's how it starts. You can't get 2 before you get 1. Just out of the reach of Scott Rowland. That's not easy to do. This big man has quite a wingspan.
And with that run scored by Nunez, another $5 donated to Special Olympics by Safe Auto.
Dave Duncan out. Yep. And not surprising that you're going to see him out on the mound and activity in the bullpen. This is the 6th inning for this current reliever. He's done a lot of starting in his past, but it's been a while since he's done a lot in the course of a season. He's worked a good bit out of various bullpens. Terrific to this point, but they're getting somebody ready because his tank is probably getting pretty low right now. They've not done much starting.
Abraham Nunez hit by a pitch, and the hit batsman blossoms into the game's first run.
Brian Giles sitting on 199 career home runs. This will be a nice time to reach that next milestone.
Brian is 3 for 9 lifetime against Cicero. Ball 1.
You're talking about that search for Cardinal starters. Woody Williams has won 14, but there's some concern for Woody because the last several starts he's given up a bunch of runs. He's been knocked around, including his work yesterday against the Pirates. So, yeah, 14 wins is great, but what have you done for me lately?
2 balls and no strikes on Giles. Over to first base. The Phillies and the Marlins tied at 6 in the 4th inning at Miami, and Kevin Millwood started that ball game for Philadelphia. He's been replaced by Turk Wendell. Mike Lowell, a home run for the Marlins, his 29th. Three balls, no strikes. Big game tonight in the American League. Boston and New York at Fenway Park. The Red Sox 2.5 back of the Yankees in the American League East, and Boston 2 games in front of Oakland in the wild card standings.
The Red Sox got even in the series with a win yesterday.
Strike called. 3-1 on Giles.
All of a sudden you look on and you see Jeff Cicero. He's slowed it down. You almost get the sense by his pace now that he's starting to labor in the 6th inning in this heat. Rebele will get an early start and a bigger lead as Tino Martinez signals over to Cicero that he will play in back of Jeff Rebele. left-hand hitter up. That makes all the sense in the world.
Rebele running. And Giles walks.
Third given up by Facero, being very careful, obviously, with Reggie Sanders, and Reggie Sanders coming up to the plate. And here comes Tony La Russa. No surprise. You just get in that feel that it's about that time.
Facero will check out of the ball game after pitching 5 2/3 innings. He allowed only 2 hits, but the Jeff Rebele base hit knocked in the game's first run. 1-0 Pirates. Back with more from Butch in a moment. 1-0 Pirates, 6th inning, and this reminder coming up on Sports Beat tomorrow night at 6:30. Pirates general manager Dave Littlefield will join Stan Savran in the studio to discuss what's going on with the Pirates. Sports Beat every weeknight on Fox Sports Net. Dave Littlefield joining Stan tomorrow night at 6:30.
Esteban Yan, right-hander, comes out of the St. Louis bullpen to replace Jeff Facero. Yan was acquired from Texas late in May. There are his numbers this year. Jeff Facero, 5 2/3 innings. He has given up a run to this point on just 2 hits, walked 3, struck out 5. And a nice round of applause for Jeff Facero from the assembly here at Busch Stadium, and well deserved.
Rebele at second, Giles at first.
First base hit of the afternoon for the Pirates belongs to Reggie Sanders. Just 1 cent.
Sanders fly ball to left. And Pools makes the catch. The Pirates pick up a run on 1 hit. There was a hit batsman and a walk. 2 men left on base. 1-0 Pirates after 5.5 innings next Sunday at PNC Park. Safari Paradol Day. Game time against the Rockies, 1:35. All youngsters 12 and younger receive a Safari Paradol compliments of Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call 1-877-893-BUCKS or log on to PittsburghPirates.com or visit the ticket windows at the corner of Federal and General Robinson Streets. The Pirates and the Rockies next weekend after the Padres are in Pittsburgh Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
That's non-bobble?
Non-bobble.
Traditional bobble, or traditional hit. Okay. Solomon Torres has thrown just 66 pitches through 5 innings. That's good work.
I think that ball's going to go foul. But Torres decided to try to quickly get the ball and flip it to Craig Wilson, and Bo Hart gets a standing ovation from this Cardinal crowd for his leadoff bunt single.
Well, a good hustling play, appreciated, and as Torres tried to make the tag, Hart kind of slid out to the right to avoid the tag, and he's got room there. You see that? Now he can go to the right of that second line, from what I understand, if you're making an approach down there. You can't cut in on the grass toward Torres, but wow, wild looking play. A lot of things happen. Infield bunt single.
What's your sense about that bunt? Do you think the ball was going to go foul?
I thought it had a chance, but the further it got, and going along with that, I think that's the only chance you got is to let it go foul. I don't think you have a chance to make the play.
Fourth hit.
It's staying on the dirt now. Will it cut back off the edge where the grass starts? Does it have enough room?
Yeah.
It didn't have a lot of spin on it, which is sometimes an indicator that it wants to spin out foul the longer you let it go. That one trying to hold its line. Home crowd liking a head-first slide in a 1-0 ball game to get things started.
I guess those putts always go towards the river, too, don't they?
That's right. That's exactly right.
Second base, Reveille did a fine job of moving to his left and getting the lead runner out at second base.
Boy, that's a good play, an important play. It's easy to just bail out and take the sure out at first base, but you need the out at second. It's critical in a 1-0 ball game. You see what a long throw it is, and second basemen don't have long throws very often, but there it is. Done good.
And Reveille did a great job of setting his feet well in advance of receiving that ball, so he was able to unload the throw quickly. Albert Pujols has struck out and walked, league's leading hitter, and he has 96 RBIs. Second in the league, 4 behind Preston Wilson. Wilson of the Colorado Rockies reached the 100 RBI mark yesterday as Preston hit 2 home runs in the Rockies' 13-8 win over Milwaukee.
You know Preston Wilson, the former Marlin.
Pujols gets his first hit of the day, 6th hit of the series, 2 men on. Pirate lead is 1-0 in the 6th inning.
This guy is very special. You get a chance to see Albert Pujols swing the bat as Torres skips out of the way. Take a look, because who knows what his ceiling is or what his capabilities are going to be. And we've got the cliche day, if he stays healthy. We'll use that one now. And Lloyd McClendon wanting to know probably, hey, are you okay? You still got something left for me, or is it time to get somebody busy in the bullpen? And if that's the case, he'll say, I want you to be honest with me.
Well, here it is, Steve, the 3rd time through the batting order for Solomon Torres. We're talking earlier about the fact that good major league hitters make adjustments after an at-bat or two, and the successful pitchers are those guys that make adjustments back the other way.
Pitchers are notorious liars in these kind of situations when a manager comes out and asks you if you're all right. Many times your eyes will be rolled up in your head and you'll have a mouthful of cotton. Sure I am, sure I am. You don't have anything left.
Well, Lloyd must feel confident that Solomon's got something left, because there's no one warming up in the bullpen.
Need one more of those double plays right here.
Foul ball out of play. Tino Martinez singled in the 2nd, singled in the 4th. Pirates in front 1-0. Jeff Reveille a 2-out single in the 6th inning to drive in Abraham Nunez.
Joe Beimel, Brian Meadows hovering around the phone with Bruce Tanner. Bruce says, is it disconnected, or does he feel that good about Solomon?
Bouncer to first baseman Craig Wilson. The runners advance. Drew to 3rd. Pujols to 2nd. 2 outs.
Pick your poison here. You want to take your chances with Scott Rowland, who has all kind of power. You want to take your chances with Renteria, who has all kind of average.
Buck goes 1, Cardinals nothing in the 6th inning. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Strike 1.
Trying to go in and out, successful on the first pitch out of way, and then missing inside.
Ground ball up the middle. Nunez spins and throws out Scott Rowland.
Boy, what a nice play on both ends as Nunez went out into left center field. The long throw and the nice pick by Wilson at first. Good work on both ends. Pirates still lead.
Nunez comes up with a clutch play to close down the Cardinal bottom of the 6th inning. 1-0 Pirates going to the 7th, and our second Giant Eagle inning of the day. Joseph Wyseckel has a chance to win the groceries. Coming up for the Pirates in the 7th inning, Craig Wilson, Jose Hernandez, and Adam Heisdew.
Yeah, more cliches. You got to add on. You got to add on. You got to add on to an existing lead.
Strike one. Montreal leads Atlanta 11-8. The Expos had a 5-run 7th inning. Ball and 1 strike over in the American League. Minnesota and Cleveland tied at 2 in the 10th inning. The White Sox lead Tampa Bay 4-1 in the 4th. And Kansas City has defeated Detroit 5-1. Kansas City Royals getting another strong performance from Jose Lima today. Lima is 7-0.
Unbelievable. Out of the independent leagues.
Down low 2-2. Kansas City right now 4.5 in front of the White Sox, pinning the outcome of the White Sox game against Tampa Bay. Craig Wilson down on strikes for the 3rd time today. Seventh inning. During the opening segment of our telecast today, we talked about Gary Carter and Eddie Murray being inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame in Cooperstown today. And it's very possible that had things happened just a little bit differently, we might have Eddie Murray as one of the most hated names in Pirate history. He came up at a very critical point in Game 7 of the 1979 World Series. The Pirates were leading 2-1 at the time, and the Orioles had the bases loaded. They had Mark Belanger at 3rd, Al Bunbury at 2nd, and Ken Singleton at 1st. There were 2 outs, and Eddie Murray had a fly ball to Dave Parker, and Parker stumbled a bit, was able to keep his balance and make the catch. And then after Jacoby had gotten Eddie Murray on that fly ball to end the 8th inning, Teague took care of Doug DeCinces, Rick Dempsey, and Pat Kelly for the final 3 outs in that 79 World Series win. Swing and a miss by Hernandez.
So he could have been the most hated. If Parker kept stumbling, he could have been the most hated. Didn't catch that ball.
Critical point. Base hit by Hernandez. Bo Hart gave it a good shot. Jose is 6 for 12 in the series. And he's batting .400 as a Pirate. This is his 5th game in a Pirate uniform.
Well, it was an interesting start to the first game he played for the Pirates against Cincinnati. A couple strikeouts and then the home run. It was a nice debut to hit a home run your first game as a Pirate. Nothing compared to Sean Dunston, however, who hit 2 his initial start for the Pirates way back when.
Heisdew has struck out and bounced into a double play.
And you wonder if you might push a little bit right here, although Heisdew swings and misses a good bit. Now watch Jose Hernandez at first, modestly.
Base hit by Heisdew. Hernandez going to 3rd, Heisdew to 2nd. 2nd and 3rd and 1 out.
And that was interesting. It looked like Scott Rowland, he didn't have a good jump at the ball. I don't know if he had a legitimate chance to make the play or not. He doesn't miss much because he has such a great reach. I don't see anything from there. No, he did not. He was well enough off 3rd base, so The double by Heisdu, big here in the 7th.
Like the dugout had told first baseman Martinez and catcher Widger to go out to the mound.
Lance Painter, one of 2 left-handers available for Tony La Russa. And he is announced. Tony is hesitating. And he's going to stay with Esteban Yan. Infield in, all kind of possibilities for the Pirates.
And Solomon Torres in the on-deck circle. And there's activity in the Pirate bullpen. So now here comes Tony La Russa out. It was all part of their delaying tactics to give Painter more time in the bullpen. Esteban Yan faces 4 batters and retires 2 of the 4. 1-0 Pirates. Back with more Pirate baseball from Busch Stadium after these messages. Appearance number 21 for Lance Painter. No wins, 1 loss, no saves. ERA .509.
He missed some time this year. A hamstring injury and missed 60 games. That's how lingering a hamstring problem can be. Didn't pitch all last year, recovering from the elbow surgery. Brian Giles got the long ball off Lance Painter Friday night. I believe that was a game-tying home run.
And Nunez is going to bat left-handed again against the left-handed pitcher. Did so against Jeff Massaro in the 6th inning. Was hit by a pitch, and Nunez scored the game's first run.
So you got a chance for Nunez to get a big run to try to add on the infield in. That makes it easier to get a ball through the infield. Always consider the possibility of a squeeze bunt. Nunez handles the bat pretty well. Big sweeping curve, big sweeping swing. He'll check with John Russell.
Jose Hernandez, the runner at 3rd. Adam Heisdu at 2nd. Oh, good play by Widger. Prevented that ball from getting back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I don't know if they want to talk about that pitch or perhaps a signal that might have been missed. Nice late stab.
Runners at 2nd and 3rd, 1 down. Nunez checks his swing, and the count's 2-1.
You wonder if they're going to try to force the hand of Lloyd McClendon by working around Nunez, although the hand may have already been in place to be played. Thinking about Torres just going 6 innings. It's kind of a secondary point as they work to Abraham.
Runner coming, 2-1 pitch. The bunt is down. The suicide squeeze bunt works. Hernandez comes home. Heisdu goes to 3rd. The Pirates lead at 2-0 as Abraham Nunez does a great job of getting that ball down to drive in the run or bunt in the run.
Nice job by Abraham Nunez there after a fine job fielding in the bottom half of the previous inning. That's all you got to do is get it on the ground. You got yourself a run. And the timing by the runner at 3rd base, just as the pitcher starts to come through, as his arm starts to go to home plate, so do you.
Solomon Torres looks at a strike. for a base hit. It's ruled a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Abraham Nunez playing a major role in today's ball game. He has bunted in a run. He has scored a run. He made the top defensive play in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Been a good ball game for number 6.
Runner coming on an 0-2 pitch with 2 outs. And Lance Painter is injured. It'll be a base hit and a run batted in. 3-0 is the score in favor of the Pirates. Did he twist his knee?
Knee or ankle, but he is some kind of hurting. Trying to get over to cover first base. It never happened, and that's as far as he got.
And how about this play? With 2 outs and the count 0-2 on Torres, Heisdu breaking for the plate.
Well, you can see in the foreground on the left side of your screen, he throws the glove away, throws the hat away, and could be a severe muscle pull. So it could be an Achilles tendon. So the medical people do their work and not speculate. Boy, talk about tough times health-wise for Lance Painter. The Tommy John surgery, and then a hamstring for 2 months this year, and now this doesn't look like anything minor, at least appearance-wise, and we'll hope that we're wrong on that.
Solomon Torres gets credit for an RBI single. Jason Simontachi will be afforded as much time as he needs to get ready. The Pirates scored 1 run in the 6th. The Bucks have gotten 2 runs here in the 7th inning. The Pirates 3, the Cardinals nothing. Back with more in a moment. Buccos lead at 3-0, 7th inning, and we'll check the numbers on Simontachi in a moment. But once again, a reminder, tomorrow night at 6:30, General Manager Dave Littlefield will be joining Stan Savran in studio to discuss the latest news involving the Pirates. Sports Beat every weeknight on Fox Sports Net.
Orlando Palmeiro takes over in right field.
Steve, I'm still trying to figure out. Here's Simontachi's. Just going to look at his numbers in just a second here. I'm still trying to sort out this play that I just witnessed. Simontachi, 23rd appearance, 8 wins, 4 losses, no saves. And it looked like Solomon Torres and Adam Heisdu were having a good-natured discussion in the dugout about Torres feeling the presence of Heisdu, Adam coming down the line. I can't for the life of me figure out why Adam would be running in that situation.
Wish I could help. No either. There's 2 outs. Pitcher up at the plate, just trying to steal home plate. See if we can see how early he tries to take off.
And look at Torres doing such a great job of reaching out for the ball.
And it's hard to tell if there's any steal attempt without knowing what stage to wind up or
here it is.
Delivery. And it's from a stretch. He's got his back to third base now. I guess it's possible that he's trying to steal home plate. All's well that ends well as the Pirates do add on. They've got a 2 spot up so far in the 7th inning in a 3-0 lead.
So we've got where do we have Palmeiro in the batting order? Oh, I see Kerry Robinson moved to center, didn't he? That explains it.
3 changes.
So Drew is out of the game.
We didn't have a left fielder momentarily, but Albert Pujols is heading back out there. Facero, Esteban Yan, Lance Painter goes a third of an inning. And now Jason Simon Tachi, who has done a lot of starting for the Cardinals this year. This will be his 8th appearance out of the bullpen. He has also started 15 games, one of which was a complete game. This is a pitching staff that's literally been turned upside down. Got some starters relieving, got some relievers starting. Sorrow started this afternoon, did a perfect job. But the Pirates playing themselves a real fine baseball game at this point, leading 3-0. But there's a good section of road to be traveled before they put a lid on this one. By the way, trivia question. I wish this was an original. I didn't have it myself, but there's been one major league pitcher that's thrown home runs, only one, that's thrown home runs to Bob Uecker, Gary Carter, and Eddie Murray. One pitcher.
What a fabulous question that is. One pitcher that's thrown home runs to
all 3 of the inductees.
Bob Uecker, Gary Carter, and Murray.
And apparently was able to get Hal McCoy out on a regular basis, so Hal's not part of that thing. Fergie Jenkins got touched up by all 3 inductees today. And this just in.
Bags in the lobby.
How about this? A formal note from our traveling secretary. That's one of the reasons he is the best. No BP. The luggage down to the lobby, and that's the name of that.
Okay. And a note from Danny Hart. The RBI for Solomon Torres, his first major league run batted in. Kendall takes a strike.
How about Solomon Torres? Lost a ball game to the Cardinals in 1993. That long ago. He's got a chance to win one, what, 10 years later?
Kendall's fly ball to right field. And Palmeiro makes the catch. The Pirates in the top of the 7th, 2 runs on 3 hits. And 1 man left on base. We're going to stay with
You
you.
see that 0 next to St. Louis's line score is because we're going to show you the Pennzoil protection play. Kept it to 0. Abraham Nunez. 2 outs. Scott Rowland up the middle, but not far enough. The spin by Nunez, the pick by Craig Wilson. Good enough to take a second look. Still going to be a big 3rd out. Pennzoil protection play. Pennzoil, we are driving protection. Nice work.
Renteria leads off the bottom of the 7th. Solomon Torres blanking the Cardinals on 5 hits through 6 innings.
Just 78 pitches. That's very efficient under these kind of conditions. And if Lloyd McClendon can get a 7th inning out of Solomon Torres, I don't know what might happen after that, but if he can, he's already got 6 quality innings and then some. He's really in the bonus round now. We'll see what happens if he keeps it going.
Base hit by Renteria, one of the league's top hitters.
Ryan Bollinger was loosening up before. I wouldn't be surprised to see the phone ring in the Pirates bullpen once again, even though they've added a couple runs on it.
Final score from Shea. The Reds beat the Mets 8-5. Paul Wilson, the winner. Steve Traxel, the loser. Jose Guillen hit his 22nd home run. Adam Dunn, number 26.
Ryan Bollinger going to pick up the baseball again.
Kendall's throw not in time, and the Cardinals have 2 men on. Kerry Robinson with a bunt base hit. Next up is Chris Widger.
It's a perfecta.
Far enough out so Jason Kendall has to chase it down. By the time he chases it down and throws to first, Robinson with his speed beats it out. Keep in mind, Jim Edmonds still available on the bench, and saw a quote in the paper that feels like his shoulders bother him to the degree he has one good swing per game. Now, Tony La Russa could be waiting to play that card at some particular point.
And when Simon Tachi came into the ballgame in the top of the 7th inning, Simon Tachi's name was placed in the number 2 spot of the batting order, with Palmeiro, the new right fielder, in the 9th batting spot. So it's Palmeiro on deck with Widger in the batter's box, 2 men on and nobody out.
Brian Boehringer's had plenty of time to get loose, so there's no problem with going to the bullpen if and when you decide to do that. Excellent defense in back of Solomon Torres, the 2 double plays and the fine play in the bottom of the 6th. His pitching and that defense combined to keep the Cardinals off the board.
Trying to find out whether Widger would be bunting in this situation. The Cardinals down by 3. Ball bunted into foul territory. Strike 1. St. Louis number 1 in the league in team batting average. Renteria at second base, Robinson at first. 3-0 Pirates, bottom of the 7th inning. Out at second. Renteria goes to third as Robinson's out 6-4, first out of the inning.
Close play at second base. That ball not hit sharply at all, but out of the reach of Hernandez, so it takes a while to get to Nunez, and the Pirates get 1 out of it, and that's all that was available.
Palmeiro's first plate appearance of the day. Torres has a quick word with his first baseman, Craig Wilson. I was wondering if Craig might play behind Widger. No, Craig is going to stay on the base. Ball 1.
And runner at third base does not concern the Pirates. The big interest is what's going on at home plate.
One of the reasons you think about playing Craig behind the runner at first, try to cut down some of that opening, reduce some of the opening on the right side. Well, I was about to say I don't think we'll see the step to third, look to first routine here in this situation, but maybe not. Maybe we will see it. Pirates are paying some attention to Widger. Two balls and no strikes.
And what you don't want to do is pay undue, excessive attention to Widger at the cost of your work to Bo Hart. Or excuse me, to Palmeiro. Hart's in the on-deck circle. This is the guy that represents run number 3 if the Cardinals get something serious going.
2-1. Nothing Pirates, 7th inning. 3 balls and 1 strike.
And now you got a pitch or 2 from Torres that can be among the most important he's going to have thrown this afternoon.
2. Let's watch and see if Widger runs on a 3-2 pitch with 1 out. There's the step to third, look to first.
La Russa knows what his catcher can and can't do in terms of speed, but might be thinking about trying to keep out of any double play.
Widger is running. Ball fouled off.
Thank you. That looked like a pitch that might have been down underneath the strike zone.
I think Pelmel felt they could take that pitch after the pitch before that was called a strike on him.
Yep.
Well down and in.
Yep, but it is tough to stand there and take a call third strike when you're trying to get something going.
3-0 Pirates. Widger runs again. Fly ball to center field. Sliding catch by Adam Heisdu. Scoring from third is Renteria. Adam Heisdu with a gem of a play. 2 outs in the 7th.
Yes, indeed. Boy, Solomon Torres getting a lot of good help with the leather. Boy, staying with it, locked in visually that ball. Let's get down toward the bottom part of that glove, but keeps enough leather around it. That was a huge second out. Well, things settle down with a runner at first.
Pirates 3 and the Cardinals 1.
Widger takes off, it might be as surprising as Adam Heisdu's dash to home plate.
We'll use that expression, dash to home, around Cardinal fans. They'll say Enos Slaughter.
Yep. Hall of Famer, Enos Country Slaughter.
0-2 on Bo Hart. Revelay to Craig Wilson. Hart's out number 3. The Cardinals pick up a run on 2 hits and leave 1 man on base. Copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Pirates may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Pirates. 3-1 Buccos after 7 innings. We were talking about Enos Slaughter a moment ago. 1946 World Series Game 7. Slaughter stealing second base on a pitch to Harry Walker. Walker with a double, and Johnny Pesky of the Red Sox hesitating for a moment. Enos Slaughter ran through the stop sign and scored. Simon Tachi to face Jeff Revelay, Brian Giles, and Reggie Sanders. Final score for Montreal. The Expos beat the Braves 13-10. Steve?
2 of those 3 principals in that story, by the way, wound up with a Pittsburgh connection. Johnny Pesky coached for the Pirates for a year or 2 or 3 back in the early 70s. Of course, Harry Walker was Pirate manager.
Jeff Revelay singled in the Pirates' first run in the 6th inning. Base hit by Revelay is second of the game.
Just out of the reach once again of Scott Rowan, this time on the second base side. Adam Heisdu doubled on the foul line side. Might have got a, well, he got a piece of the glove on that ball. I'm all turned around by now. I keep wondering how long after the game the bus will be leaving for the airport. Sunday, usually a getaway day, but staying around. Another contest with the Cardinals. It's an afternoon game. 1:40 start back in Pittsburgh.
1:15 airtime tomorrow on the radio broadcast. Throw to first base. Rebele back safely. Greg Maddux was the starter for the Atlanta Braves today. Maddux pitched 6 innings, gave up 6 earned runs. Maddux was not the losing pitcher. The Expos win it 13-10. Called strike on Giles. One ball, one strike. Toronto defeated Baltimore 10-1. Carlos Delgado hitting his 30th home run of the year. Vernon Wells, number 28. Two balls and one strike. Recapping what's happened here this afternoon at Busch Stadium. Rebele singled in the 6th inning to drive in Nunez. Nunez had been hit by a pitch at the outset of the inning. Bunted to second by Torres. And the 2-out single of Rebele got him home. The Pirates picked up 2 runs in the 7th inning by way of the suicide squeeze bunt of Nunez. Got Hernandez home, and Heisdu scored on the infield single of Solomon Torres. Fly ball to right center field. Rebele tagging at first. Catch made by center fielder Robinson. Reggie Sanders.
Strained calf muscle for Lance Painter as he was grabbing the back of that leg right in the calf area. I guess there are various degrees of strain. That one looked like it grabbed him pretty good. Pretty bad.
Cardinals scored their only run of the game in the bottom of the 7th inning off the Palmeiro sacrifice fly. Renteria scored. Pitch in the dirt, ball pops away, and Rebele will go to second base on a wild pitch. Pirate base runners have done a great job this year, something the club started working on in spring training. The minute the runners see the ball in the dirt, they break.
And that instinctive quick break makes the difference.
One ball, one strike.
Nice to see former Pirate Duffy Dyer in the ballpark. He's doing some advanced scouting, watching the Cardinals. He played the Pirates as one of his old former teams. Duffy Dyer, one of those guys on the good guy list. Did a lot of good work for the Pirates. Popular guy. Way back when Duffy was kind enough to come out to Kiski School out in Salzburg when he was running a baseball camp to talk to the kids. Remember those kind of things.
2 balls and 1 strike. Duffy's given name is Donald. He got the nickname Duffy because his mother, before she went into labor to deliver him, was watching or listening to the old radio show Duffy's Tavern. Swinging and missing after Mrs. Dyer gave birth to Duffy. I guess that's how he got his name, because Mrs. Dyer asked the nurse what happened with Duffy, referring to the radio show.
I'm glad it all worked out and it wasn't nicknamed Tavern.
2-2. 2-2 on Rebele. Or on Sanders, rather, with Rebele at second base, 1 out. Looked like getting turned around. Scott Rowland with an exciting pick.
Yep, very stylish. And that's one of those kind of plays you really can't charge the ball. You got to lay back and hope you got the glove in the right spot for that in-between hop or the short hop. That is a very difficult play. You just don't know where the bounce is going to be. Hope for the best, and then after that, it becomes pretty easy.
Carlos Rivera to pinch hit for Craig Wilson.
And Dave Duncan immediately out to have a talk with the battery mates, Simon Tachi and Chris Widger. What are we going to do with the runner at second base and 2 outs? Rivera up there, Hernandez in the on-deck circle. They'll make a plan.
Hitting just 176. Rebel at second, 2 outs. The Pirates 3, the Cardinals 1. Grounds out to second baseman Hart. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on base. Go to the bottom of the 8th. The Pirates 3, the Cardinals 1.
Pirates lead at 3-1 going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Changes. Rivera, who pinch hit for Craig Wilson, stays in the ball game to play first base. And the new Pirate pitcher is number 71, Brian Boehringer. His numbers for the season. It's been a better month for Brian after really struggling. But in the month of July, an ERA of 164. So we hope that Brian's got it all figured out. The Pirates are going to be looking for a way to get 6 outs here to protect this 2-run lead in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Wilson Delgado to pinch hit for Simon Tachi.
Solomon Torres, 7 quality innings, 1 run on 7 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Terrific work.
Delgado's a switch hitter, batting left-handed. He takes ball 1. Two balls, no strikes. And 2-1. Ryan, a reliever that doesn't always throw from the stretch. Foul ball to the seat. That makes it 2-2. The latest on the Astros and the Cubs. The Cubbies lead at 5-3 in the 8th inning. Sammy Sosa and Eric Karras and Mark Bressolanic home runs for the Cubs. Jeff Bagwell and Richard Hidalgo long balls for the Astros. Nunez with another gem.
Didn't think he had a chance on that one, but he goes up for the jump pass kind of program as he's going away from his shortstop position. And that was a dandy. Didn't think he had any possible way of making this play. This is a real sparkler. Look, up in the air with accuracy.
Wasn't even close.
Yeah, really. How big is that play when you're trying to protect a 2-run lead? Leadoff man gets on. If you don't make the play, you bring the tying run to the plate.
Ball bunted by Pujols and thrown out by Jose Hernandez.
I'll tell you, the Pirates are playing a very, very solid, fine baseball game this afternoon. A real departure from yesterday. Pujols trying to get on base. Hernandez, bare hand,
the ball outruns the player.
How about this show that Nunez is putting on today?
I tell you, it is something.
Hit by a pitch, he scored a run in the 6th inning, then he bunted in a run with a suicide squeeze play in the 7th inning. Saved 2 runs with his play up the middle in the 6th inning on the ground ball hit by Scott Rowland, and this play here in the 8th on the ball hit by Wilson Delgado.
We used to say way back when the best kind of therapy for a player that's injured is having his replacement play well. Sometimes you can get healthy in a hurry.
Center fielder Heisdu coming on. And it's a 1-2-3, bottom of the 8th. The Buccos 3 and the St. Louis Cardinals 1. Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by your Pittsburgh Chrysler dealers. Drive equals love. And by Pennzoil, not just oil, Pennzoil. Ready for the 9th inning.
You know, I don't know if you can see it well enough. Bob Walk had a real good ball game back here in 1993, and they built a statue in his honor. And we just see it every day. It's a joy. It's rather an inspiration as we go to the ballpark here in St. Louis.
That was that game-tying game of Bob Walk, right?
That's right, just before the Drabek win. Yep.
1990. Saturday game won by Walkie that clinched the tie for the division title. And pitch from Eldred sails back to the screen, ball 1.
Cal Eldred making his 40th appearance as former starter. And he becomes the 5th pitcher of the afternoon for the Cardinals. They're going to probably have to do some more roster work. That ball popped up. I don't think Lance Painter's going to be available for a few days. Pop up to Bo Hart, short right field, first out in the 9th inning. The calf muscle pull looked pretty severe, so the concerns for the Cardinal pitching staff continue. Part of the rock-solid defensive group this afternoon, Adam Heisdu.
I'm still anxious.
You can't wait to ask Mac about that.
I want to get downstairs and find out about this play where Heisdu is running with 2 strikes on Torres and there are 2 outs. I'm wondering if Adam had missed a sign. In that case, you wonder, what did John Russell say to Adam that Adam thought he...
What kind of sign could it be?
That's it. Normally, when it's a suicide squeeze bunt, the sign is given to the hitter, and then the coach will actually go over and tell the runner that it's on or it's not on.
Not too many suicide squeeze with 2 outs. I've seen Mike Lincoln loosening up in the Pirate bullpen. I am. Brian Beauregard, 1-2-3. Bottom of the 8th with a little help from his friends, with a lot of help from his friends.
Heisdu's the 2nd out of the 9th inning, looking ahead to the Cardinals. Bottom of the 9th inning, Scott Rowland, Edgar Renteria, and Kerry Robinson coming up.
Edmonds still available.
Here's the start of the game. Isn't it interesting? He's 0 for 1. He's not 0 for 2. He's 0 for 1 today.
Scored a run, knocked in a run, and been all over the place with his glove.
Maybe I shouldn't say just the only star of the game. We've had a few, including the job that Solomon Torres did today is significant.
Yep.
It is a 1-2-3 top of the ninth inning. The Buccos lead the Cardinals 3-1. Boyd McClendon calling on Mike Lincoln to work the bottom of the ninth inning, and for the Robinson for Mike Lincoln, appearance number 13. 1 win, no losses, 3 saves.
Last 4 outings, 3 saves and a win. Doesn't get much better than that.
A week ago, we were wondering what would the Pirates do for a closer. Mike Lincoln last Sunday saved the game for Kip Wells against the Milwaukee Brewers. Then a win for Mike on Monday against the Astros, and back-to-back saves in the 2-game set against the Reds. Bowringer won it Wednesday, and
he might have one of those old Ray Miller T-shirts. What was it? Work fast, throw strikes, change speeds. Mike Williams.
The saves for Lincoln Sunday against the Brewers, Monday against the Astros, then Wednesday against the Reds, and a win on Thursday in the Pirates 7-5-11 inning victory. Check swing, ground ball to Hernandez.
The Mike Lincoln curveball as Scott Rowland tried to check his swing and stop the swing, but too far along, and easy chop to third base.
Renteria 1 for 3.
You know, with the Cardinals looking for so much starting pitching, you wonder what they think about the job Solomon Torres did this afternoon. Whenever anything happens of interest from a guy that you don't normally expect great things, that a shopping team will perk up their ears. I take a second look at all of that. Pretty much looking at everything that's going on right now when they're looking for pitching. The hook.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Ninth inning, the Pirates 3 and the Cardinals 1. Pirate RBIs this afternoon: Reveille, Nunez, and Torres, 1 each. Solomon Torres pitched 7 innings, allowed 1 run. Bowringer worked a scoreless 8th inning, and now Mike Lincoln in the 9th, and Renteria with a shot to left field for a base hit. Bring up Kerry Robinson, left-handed batter.
Pirates have turned 2 double plays. It won't be easy against Kerry Robinson. He has terrific speed.
Eduardo Perez in the on-deck circle. Base hit just out of the reach of shortstop Abraham Nunez, and the Cardinals have 2 men on. 3rd hit of the day for Robinson. Nine Cardinal hits, all singles. Well, you'd have to believe that Tony would have been tempted to use Jim Edmonds right here, especially considering the fact that Edmonds is 3 for 5 lifetime against Mike Lincoln. But it is Eduardo Perez pinch hitting for Chris Widger.
Now we're going to have one of these everybody involved conferences that we've been seeing so much of from Lloyd McClendon in recent games. About a week, maybe 10 days, 2 weeks. Mac has been out there, and when he goes out there in these kind of situations, everybody seems to be on the mound paying attention. Bill Miller, who's had a rather long day calling balls and strikes behind the plate, doesn't waste much time getting out there to hurry this thing along. It breaks up. Ready to go.
Joe Beimel warming up in the bullpen. On deck is Orlando Palmeiro, a left-handed batter. Ball one. Pirate outfield deep with the exception of Reggie Sanders. Giles deep in left, Heisner deep in center. But even I'd say Sanders is maybe a step or two closer than the normal right field depth. One ball, one strike.
Tying him up inside. Yep. Location on that pitch from Mike Lincoln.
Renteria at second, Robinson at first, one out. Curveball called strike two.
Up in the zone, but Mike gets away with it. No, that is dangerous territory there.
Runners going, ball gets away. It'll be a double steal. Renteria to third and Robinson to second.
Boy, Mike Lincoln tried to throw the ultimate curveball that time. After getting a call on a high curveball, this one not good at all, and the plot really thickens now. The base runners in scoring position.
Second and third, one out. Pirate infield playing back, trying to head off a ball that might try to get through. Fly ball into shallow right field. Rabelais makes the catch. It is the second out of the inning.
Boy, and a real crisis there in short right field as Rabelais was going out. Sanders was coming in. Jeff Rabelais stayed with it and made the catch. That had the potential for disaster written all over it. Gets tricky. Rabelais takes it, and Reggie Sanders will instruct him where to throw the ball after the catch is made.
Second and third, two outs. Here's Palmeiro. Palmeiro knocked in the Cardinal run with a sacrifice fly in the seventh inning. Base hit to center field. Renteria scores. Robinson scores. The game is tied at 3.
Pitch, and what happens here is it's a decent curveball, but you've got advanced scouts who will tell the Cardinals that when it gets down to cases, Mike Lincoln likes to go to his curveball. He goes to the curveball, and Palmeiro gets the 2-run single. And they better keep an eye on him.
Pirates are keeping tabs on Palmeiro. Pitch out, ball one. Or the double steal set it up. Renteria and Robinson swiping third and second respectively. Then the 2-out single by Palmeiro to tie the game at 3.
There's really not much of a risk here to send Palmeiro or give him a green light in case he gets a jump.
2 balls and no strikes on Bo Hart. Hart's averaged .311 for the year. Cal Eldred in the on-deck circle.
Keep in mind for Mike Lincoln, this is all still kind of new territory, and he gets really hurt for the first time as a Pirates closer in these kind of situations, and now back on his heels, falls way behind, and a big pitch coming up to stay in this at bat.
Palmeiro does not have a big lead off first. Ball 4. Mike Matheny, the pinch hitter.
And that leaves just Edmonds available for Tony.
Possible winning run at second base in Orlando Palmeiro. Matheny hitting .267, 4 home runs, 30 RBIs.
And they'll play him straight away on the infield, which allows the runner at second base, Palmeiro, to get a huge lead. Now, everybody's going to try to keep track of him because he was wandering quite a ways off.
And Reggie Sanders is quite shallow in right field. Heisdu has moved in a bit.
Yep, you've got to be able to do something with a base hit and take your shot at home plate.
Ball bobbled by Hernandez, safe, and the bases are loaded.
He tried to make the recovery, but not in time. 2 outs. The runner at first base. Bohart was on the move, and the bobble cost him the play. And now you get to deal with Albert Pujols. And nowhere to put him.
That's ruled a base hit. And the League's leading hitter is at the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 3-3, bottom of the 9th inning. Ball 1.
It is hard not to use the breaking ball against Albert Pujols. That is your best pitch. And they missed with the first one.
In this 9th inning, after 1 out, Renteria singled. Then Kerry Wood with a base hit. The runners advanced by way of the double steal. Perez popped up to second baseman Rebele. Palmeiro singled in 2 runs to tie the game at 3. Bohart walked, and then they gave the base hit to Matheny to load to the bases. Curveball for a strike, 1-1.
It's one of those situations that Pujols probably looking for the curveball and hoping to adjust to the fastball if he sees it.
Base hit to center field. Pujols drives in. Palmeiro, and the Cardinals win it.
Albert Pujols got the fastball, hit it right back through the middle. After a couple of curveballs, the fastball, base hit, game over.
St. Louis Cardinals scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning to defeat the Pirates 4-3. Albert Pujols driving in the game-winning run after 2 outs in the 9th. Pujols with a couple of hits today, 7 hits in the series. The league's leading hitter. The Cardinals 4 runs, 12 hits, no errors. The Pirates 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The winning pitcher, Cal Eldred, he's 4-4. Mike Lincoln, the losing pitcher, 1-1. So the Pirates are 47-55. The Cardinals hoping to pick up some ground on the Astros.
Pirates played one of their best ball games for 8 innings, but they couldn't get the 3 outs they needed in the 9th inning, and a heartbreaker after really playing quite well most of the afternoon.
Now it's time to say goodbye from St. Louis. The Redbirds win at 4-3. Thanks for being with us.